Hello, hello. So whoever is there, am I audible now? There was a technical glitch earlier. Am I audible now? Fine. First of all, medium of instruction, Hindi, English, or Punjabi, whatever. I'm fine with any of them. Davinder, you are the only one, I guess, here. So Hindi, English, Punjabi, whatever. Okay. 5 मिनट्स वेट कर लेते, कोई आता नहीं तो फिर कहते क्लास में कर लेंगे अपनी. Mark your presence, everyone, whoever is here, and if he or she is interested in continuing this session or not. Gagan, you are my student. We can do it in class also. So is the case with you, Kanika. We'll wait for 2 3 minutes. I'll close the session otherwise. Okay. Till then, Gagan, tell me the word you learned today. The one you learned today. Tell me the word or the idiom or the phrasal verb. Who is the third person here? Kush, again a student. Okay. God's favor. What's your name? What's your actual name? God's favor. God's favor. Hello, Pankaj. So fine, as I had mentioned in that post also, first you can ask me any word from any book, and I'll try to have an answer for each of them. Then this session is not about giving a list of words or anything. I'll tell you how to do vocabulary through any source. It's not about me cramming words and throwing up in front of you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna present a list of words, present a list of okay, there's this. I'm answering God's favors question. You can go to this website, Magoosh, Magoosh. Then they have this category. Then they have various categories, as in um, basic words, advanced words, intermediate words. They have these categories. So of course basic words are going to be A1 or A2, intermediate words are going to be B1 B2, and advanced words are going to be C1 C2. So the website is Magoosh has a vocabulary distribution, so you can refer to that website for a selection of words, as in for a selection of words, as in if you want to do them category wise, A1 A2 B1 B2 C1 C2. Magoosh, I can type the name. कुछ spelling mistakes, you have to rewrite words. You have to keep writing them until you have mastered them. That's all. I've typed it. God's favor. Magoosh. You can refer to Magoosh vocabulary cards, and they have vocabulary, you know, distributed among the levels. So you'll get to know which word belongs to which one. Try not to use any C1 C2 word in your IELTS writing, because examiners are not that competent, what I have observed from my experience. So remain very um, modest in your writing. Vocabulary helps a lot in speaking, the fancy vocabulary. In writing it does the opposite, and that is purely from experience. Nothing I can guarantee, but from whatever I've seen. Anything else, anyone? Pankaj, Davind, Kanika, Kush, God's favor. Tell me your name. It seems so awkward to say this term. Any book, I think everything is book. As in, whatever you go through the internet is a book. So, how I learn vocabulary, Davinder, there's this website called Merriam-Webster. It gives a word a day. There's another dictionary.com. It gives a word a day. Oxford gives a word a day. There is so much to go through on the internet itself. You do not need books, and books are very monotonous. Nobody reads them properly afterward. So, as in, I shared a WhatsApp post, I think um, a day or 2 days ago, that how I learn vocabulary. I have made a WhatsApp group for myself only, and I keep sending screenshots into that so that I can revise the words later. So any material is material, just that it should be reputed. Don't go through any um, stupid YouTube channel for sure, but any I would say legitimate English authority will help you a lot. Oxford, Merriam-Webster, Dictionary.com, Collins Dictionary, excellent. So there's a lot to gain knowledge from. Do not rely on books. Books are not the fashion now. Itna active. itna active as in I don't have much else to do. Maybe I live alone. I do not have much else to do, and I am passionate about my work. I have OCD. I if I do something wrong, I kind of I'm not able to sleep itself. So I have passion for my work, and I think that makes me active only. There's nothing medical. There's nothing supernatural. There's nothing, I would say, extraordinary to that. I'm still in Chandigarh, Sarangpur. One thing that can make you active, God's favor, Ishika, is that have do not have many friends. I would say do not have you know as few friends as possible. Try to cut off your relationships, as in most of your friends hold you back. Follow up answer. Okay, this is actually a good question. See, I do not prescribe a length or anything. I always say to my students, as in, speak for as long as you can. Keep speaking, as in, be it part one, part two, or part three. Whenever the examiner stops, you stop. I do it in every exam. I have done 30, I have gotten results for 32 exams. The 33rd I've taken, 2 days back, and the result is going to come late a little. So in each of them I followed only one strategy, that I kept speaking until the examiner stopped me for each of the questions, and that has worked that has worked wonders, because all the results are in front of you. So keep speaking. There should not be any length. There should not be any limit. That's all. So what's the fanciest term? That fanciest is wrong. What's the most I would say elegant word you guys know? Maybe offline I can't teach, Pankaj. I do not have a center. I can accommodate one or two students maximum in my own place. So you can contact me if you want to talk about that. Fine, let's do this fun thing. Take any Cambridge book out. Ask me any word. That is just to prove to you guys that learning vocabulary is possible. I've seen this tendency with people. They say, "Sir, there are lakhs of words. How many to learn, sir? I forget words." It's possible to learn very many words. Just that it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of time. So you can ask me any word. Let's see if I know them or not, and then I'll tell you how I learn them, how I revise them, and all the related things. Pankaj, I live in Sarangpur. My perspective is that means what I have as a vision for the world, as in how I perceive the world to be. Nazariya. Madagascar is a region, idiot. Then I ask you the meaning of Amritsar, Davinder. You can come up with any word from any Cambridge book or any other source. I don't say that I will know each of them, but you might get to see that I know a majority of them, and that will prove to you that learning vocabulary to a very large extent is possible. There is no agenda, any other agenda behind that. Or you can ask me any question, otherwise, maybe then if it doesn't excite you enough, the vocabulary thing. Propitious is auspicious, shubh, the Hindi word shubh, lucky. See, those vocabulary tips and tricks videos are a bit of a trap. Teachers learn maybe 20, 30 words, or they have a list, behind the desktop or the laptop, and they try to showcase something magical that doesn't happen. Deinonychus, where did you hear this word? Kindly type the sentence. It seems a chemical substance. Deinonychus, maybe Deinonychus. The Winder, a sentence means okay. A sentence doesn't mean two words or whatever it is. Ishika, I'm reading your sentence. Ishika, as I told you earlier, do not use any such term in your writing. Simply, I agree with this proposition. I agree with this statement is band 9 enough. Do not go beyond that. Nobody wants to read anything that is beyond their capabilities also. So do not read anything. Did I not show you something regarding Ielts advantage? That person has not even replied to me because he knows his mistake. So right, this statement otherwise also doesn't seem to be right. My perspective is propitious. I would say avoid this sentence, and it doesn't seem right to me at all. You can write my perspective is in agreement with my perspective is in agreement with this statement. That might work for you. My perspective is in agreement with this statement. So see the Vinder, you have done the same thing. It's a creature's name, Deinonychus. What is the meaning of the Vinder then? Because you are also a creature. I am not a paleontologist. Ishika, again, I'm repeating your answer. Um, you can write my perspective is in agreement with this statement. It could be one of the creatures from the dinosaur category, the Vinder. Perfectly fine, Ishika. I think you're writing the spelling of perspective wrong. I can type the statement for you. You can, there is no problem in that, but don't mention anything that has any scope for elongation. Don't mention a point that can be continued. You can give a suggestion, but why to, as in, if they have allowed for something that is already written, why to write a new point in the conclusion? Just summarize the previous points. Do not write anything. Just write whatever has been written before, in a nutshell. Summarize all the points, that's all. Don't write anything new. Though even if you write one more point, as in one suggestion or something, there is no harm in that. Remember, conclusion and introduction don't have much to contribute to your writing. They are hardly of any importance, so don't worry about them. Conclusion and introduction are the least important paragraphs. I think Deinonychus has gone. Deinonychus Chaudhary. Anything else, anyone? No, he's there. Anything else, anybody? I'll wait one more minute, then I'll log out or something. So tell me one useful YouTube channel regarding IELTS. Don't mention my name, and don't make any jokes right now. Okay, two questions. Let me deal with Khush's. Very good question, Kush. One sec. Which kind of vocabulary is not suitable for IELTS? Which seems strange. Okay, there is this term called maybe. Okay, have you heard this term protege? Any of you? Protege. 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 Protege means student. This is unsuitable in IELTS because even the examiner will not know this term. Most of the examiners, I can guarantee that, for what I have deduced from the results and all. So something that seems very awkward, something that seems uh, out of the way, something that seems out of the world itself, don't use it. Maybe. Okay, let's take another example. The sound of a bell, when you hit a bell, the sound of that bell is called tintinabulation. Tintinabulation, don't use this word, not at all, it will lower your score. A Christmas tree, yeah, a Christmas tree is called a Tannenbaum. Tannenbaum, don't use this term. Maybe. uh, I'm thinking of something awkward. One sec. A drinking place, a pub is also called rub a dub dub. Rub a dub dub, it will lower your score. Then maybe a party is also called a shindy. Shindy, it will lower your score. So don't use anything that is awkward to the ears, that's all. Now let me deal with Ishika's question. From what I've understood from your question, Ishika, it is that the examiner first has asked you, do you play any games, I think, and you have told your favorite sport in that only. And afterward, the teacher will ask me, if the teacher asks you in the next question, like, what is your favorite game? Since you have already mentioned it, you can say, as I've said before. But the examiner is not stupid that when she has already known that your favorite game is badminton, that she'll ask it again. Don't worry about that. And even if she asks you in the next question, what is your favorite game, you can say, as I mentioned earlier, my favorite game is badminton, and the reason for that is that I can play it with my siblings and all, whatever you've written over there. See, the words are not only about their meanings but also about their connotations. Connotations means as in what they make you think of. So be very specific to the context of the question also. For instance, you are writing about something very civil, you are writing about something in an office, and you say the masses have come in place of the staff or the workers, then it is going to sound awkward, and it can lower your score. Masses might refer to something that is very huge in its population size. Maybe you're talking about the rural end of a country or the rural population group of a country, then you might say masses. So it should suit the types of people also. It should not be only about people. If you are using the term masses, be careful where you use the term also. Be careful about that. Notion is a right term. What is bad with that? It's quite common. Did I make my point clear, Ishika and Kush, regarding your respective questions? Ielts made easy. I've not seen much of their content. So if anybody has any other question, or if anybody wants me to do anything for himself or herself or anything, I can wait 2 more minutes for your reply. Otherwise, I'll close the class. First of all, let's clear out the meaning of this term idiom. Idiom is not only colorful vocabulary. Idiom, see, there are metaphors. Metaphors are indirect terminology. For instance, the apple of my eye or something. You, of course, you do not have any apple in your eye, or the person also is not an apple. It's a human being. So of course, it should not be about the metaphors only where you have indirect references. Idiom is something that is naturally used by the English people, or the people of any other language. Idiomatic language is the natural language rather than colorful. So you use idioms, that is perfectly fine, but they should be that pertain to the regular language of the people rather than something poetic, something regarding, you know, metaphorical context or anything. So learn idioms in the right way, and idioms are perfectly fine in writing also, if they are not awkward, if they are not colorful, if they represent the natural language of people, represent the natural language of the people of English. And phrasal verbs are idioms only. Phrasal verbs are idioms only, and phrasal verbs can get you a very high score because they are collocations. So from, you said, check out whole story. To tell the whole story, maybe to recapitulate, or in summary, I said idioms, not the idioms you have crammed, part and parcel, spick and span. They will lower your score. I'm talking about idiomatic vocabulary, the natural vocabulary of people uh, who are native, who are natives, who use English as their regular language, or who are English people themselves. Maybe let me give you an example. Have you figured that out? Figured that out is a good example of idiomatic vocabulary. I'm not talking about part and parcel, over the moon, spick and span, or whatever you have been, you know, learning throughout. No, I can't make any video on idioms. Sorry, I already have them in my writing. Okay, I will make one. I'm sorry, I was rude. Sorry, I will make one. I will try to make one. I'm as I mentioned in one of the previous posts. I'm, you know, leaving IELTS teaching soon. So, but if I can get time before I do that, I will make a video on idioms. How to improve writing skills? I think I've been working on your writing skills. You know already, Davinder. You are my student. Stop being so eccentric here. Okay, how many videos of mine have you seen already, Kush? None, because my videos hardly get 100 views. I'm already a flop on YouTube. It's okay. I accept that. So there's hardly any point in making any more of them. Fine. Any other thing before I go? I'll wait one more minute and then I'll close the session. I'll wrap it up. Anything from reading, listening, writing, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, punctuation, IELTS, TOEFL, PT, language cert, Michigan English test, Oxford ELLT, ITEP, CRISPL, CAT, GMAT, GRE. Fine, then I think that should be the end of it now. Fine, thank you for joining.